Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 3:12 p.m. It is July 4th. I hope 5th. I'm sorry. I hope everyone had a nice 4th of July. That is, except for my perps. I heard a lot of firecrackers going off, and I'm the kind of person, I don't really do anything for 4th of July, so I kept hearing these firecrackers and stuff going on, and I was engrossed in my reading. Okay, I was reading a comic book, which was quite entertaining. Took my mind off of the bullshit, right? And then I would hear them, and then they'd go off, and then I'd wait a few minutes to start reading, and then they'd go off again. And I kept having to remind myself because, it's just, that's just another day for me, when I was little, that was kind of a big deal. I remember, sometimes my family would barbecue and stuff, and they'd always buy for whatever, for birthdays, Easter, whatever holiday it was. They'd get those little paper plates and napkins and stuff like that. Not all the time, but every once in a while. If my dad saw them, he would bring them home. Which kind of reminds me, I saw this ad. It was actually one of those articles on Yahoo about, I guess Nike had made these particular shoes with an American emblem on it. Yes, technically, you're not supposed to use the American flag in advertisements. And I remember my dad explaining this to me, because I remember, you get these little paper plates. Well, this wasn't advertising. It's actually the product that was being sold. But you get these, paper plates with little variations of the American flag on it. And I asked my dad, how come we can't just get a paper plate with an American flag on it? Why can't it just be like a flag, instead of a bunch of different stripes, stars here? It's always distorted, right? Well, my father explained to me that there was certain codes, that are, ethic codes that relate to the flag that could be punishable, not severe. I guess some art can be severe, but it's kind of, it's against the law. Okay. So you can't make the flag disposable. So you can't just eat on a paper plate with the American flag on it and throw it in the trash. It's considered disrespectful. So that's why you'll see these little paper plates, napkins, cups, all these little things with a variation. You will not find an American flag, and if you do, it probably was made in a different country. It violates flag codes and stuff. So just that's a little tidbit of information, which I always found it interesting. There are certain things about the American flag that people don't understand, and it was kind of cool that he explained that to me when I was a kid. So anyway, moving right along. So yeah, I'm in my house dress, those old 70s type dresses where you wear, your mom probably wore them around the house, and you dig this, right? It is comfortable. Usually I don't mind wearing jeans and stuff like that in the house, during the fall and the early part of the spring, because it's not hot, right? When I'm in the house, I just want to get into the most comfortable thing I can find. Okay, so I really do have this old lady look right now. Okay, I'm not going to stand up and show you, but it's got a little pocket on the side and all these little flowers on it. It looks very, I don't know. It reminds me of, remember that little cartoon sketch where Carol Burnett would come out with that little hat on and her little mop or whatever, just looking real. That's kind of how it looks, kind of, anyway. So, I was doing some thinking. I ran some errands today, and, I got my divorce was final in October, and I changed my name on a lot of my things, but when I called the phone company, T-Mobile, I'm looking at my eyeballs. Sorry, I don't want to get distracted. But anyway, when I called T-Mobile, they made it seem like it was so much red tape, and I hate going into T-Mobile places or any cell phone places. I really don't like those kind of stores. That includes auto stores or anything else. So I made my way in today, and the transaction was actually pretty simple, right? So I got my name changed on that, and then I had to follow up with my car insurance company to make sure that they actually follow through with my name change. So I'm already been divorced for a very long time. I'm not the kind of person that follows up on things that I consider to be minor, but I just wanted to get it cleared up anyway, just because maybe it's because I have such disdain for that particular family, or just this feeling of just, I don't know, ugh, just get out of my life already. I'm referring to Polly Graham and her little clan or whatever. I don't want anything to do with these people. So anyway, it is the weekend and I am ready for it. Okay, I did all my little errands, got them all out of the way. The only thing I might have to do tomorrow, maybe, just maybe, is get a bag of ice. Okay, I have a very tiny refrigerator in my kitchen, which I need to eventually. I can't afford one right now. We all know why, because Mary was gang stalked. But I have a very tiny refrigerator in my kitchen right now, and it's like one of those little cubic type. I don't know. My other refrigerator went out, so, and even when it didn't, okay, the freezer. I mean, the refrigerator I used to have didn't have a big freezer where I used to buy a big 20-pound bag and it would last a few days, right? I don't have that now. So since I moved in here, I've been using an ice chest, which is fine, but there's some days where, I'm tight on money, so I don't really drink iced tea or anything. I have to just drink water, which is fine. But, on the weekends, Maria likes her iced tea. Preferably iced tea mixed with lemonade, okay? And that's really good. I am a little upset with the 99-cent store right now because they were selling their lemons in these bags. You would get like 7 or 8 lemons. I went back. Now you're only getting 5 lemons in the bag, okay? Because they knew that deal was just too good. It was too good to sell lemons for that small of a price, right? So I understand, they have to, they have to think about making money and stuff, but I feel a little shorted, okay? I feel a little bit upset, okay? Because when you're gang stalked, those lemons look pretty damn good, right? So anyway, I feel more relaxed today. I do get agitated sometimes, because it comes up, at certain times, especially when you think about even the issue of the lemons, right? You start thinking about stuff. You start getting like, oh, I'm so pissed off, right? But today I'm just like, okay, I really want to give myself a break from this. I would like to say that I did sign up for a Udemy course to do my PowerPoint, which is cool. Okay, I like these little courses that you can take because it gives you the ability to see what you're doing wrong, and then you can make these little corrections. Whereas like the YouTube tutorials are good, but they can't really provide that kind of feedback. So I kind of like that little setup, right? I haven't actually started. I only signed it up yesterday, okay? So I don't want to put a lot of stress on myself, and I have so many things I want to do, and it's hard for me to prioritize right now because of all this bullshit going on in my head, okay? So I have to take, on the weekends, not immediately, but generally like around 9 o'clock in the morning, I start to calm down, I'm able to focus, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get into that mental state. I think the hardest days for me are Mondays because, I'm finally calmed down on mid-morning on Saturday, and then it's very tranquil on Sunday, and then I'm right back to it on Monday. Monday's not so bad lately, only because I have a little bit more social interaction, which is good, because it's fucking lonely out in the middle of nowhere, right? But still, I miss that kind of banter, just regular talking. It's normal, okay? And for someone who doesn't have a huge social life, work kind of takes that place. It's like you enjoy the interaction, people coming in, women coming in, setting little stacks of stuff on your desk, good morning, hi, whatever. That stuff I completely miss, okay? So, it's kind of weird when you don't have that anymore. So Mondays are a little bit better now, but still, I'm still going through this transition of, okay, I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm peaceful, and then I got to move on to this, right? So, but I have to deal with it, okay? I'm sticking it out as best as I possibly can. So, I mentioned yesterday that I really don't want to deal with the employment ads anymore because it's perp everywhere. So I have to devise this plan. So I feel very rushed because I feel like I have certain goals that I want to get on with my life. No, I'm not going to pursue being a CPA anymore. Okay, obviously these people sucked up and drained all my goddamn time over something I had nothing to do with, okay? But I still need to find something that fits my skill set. I need to find something that I enjoy, And I'm not extremely picky. I just don't want medical or gas. That's just something I don't like, okay? I don't like it. And I don't want to sit here and, find work, that revolves around, Maria eating yogurt or bringing snacks that, a lot of people bring, okay? A lot of people bring yogurt. Actually, that's one of the number one things to put in your snack pack or your lunch, okay? I don't bring a lunch, okay? I usually bring snacks because Maria gets goddamn hungry in the mornings, right? So Maria brings her little food and she eats, right? Unless, of course, my boss tells me the day before, can you stay later this week or tomorrow or whatever? Then I have the heads up and then I go pack something to eat. But for the most part, I do bring snacks. And, when I look around at most people, that's the kind of stuff. So when you are a target, every goddamn thing you do, everything you do, okay, is a huge deal. They look at stuff and they scrutinize it. And they don't start putting things together like, well, other women do this, or other people in general do this. A lot of people eat that stuff, okay? Some people, they might eat a yogurt, for lunch, and for snack or whatever, and they might go out to a fast food place to eat, okay? But I don't really eat fast food. I do every once in a while. Like, for example, if my boss tells me in the middle of the day, can you stay a little bit longer? Then I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't pack any lunch. Well, I don't really have a choice, right? I prefer home-cooked food, okay? The older I get, now when I was little, all I wanted was like McDonald's and stuff like that. And I don't really like fast food. I don't, okay? I enjoy hamburgers every once in a while, but I prefer them homemade. Now, when I was a kid, I would throw a fit, I remember Eddie Murphy doing a skit on something like that about the bell peppers. Yes, my mother put bell peppers in her hamburgers. And it adds flavor, okay? And I do think it's a black thing. I do think bell peppers and hamburgers are a black thing, okay? But the older I get, the more I prefer home-cooked food, okay? And then you see some of these things on YouTube. Did you see that, the clip of that girl who licked, well, that's not really home-cooked food, but still, they lick the ice cream, okay? People do all kinds of shitty, gross stuff in restaurants, okay? I know. Because when I was a kid, I remember I worked at a pizza place. They dropped a pizza on the floor, and they picked it up and put it back in the box, and they sold it out to the customer, okay? This shit happens all the time, okay? And I'm not saying things don't happen in factories either, but at least when you take things out of that package, you at least know from this particular point on that nobody spit in it, nobody put, licked it, and nobody, whatever, tampered with it in any way. So, I do, okay? But I don't like to eat a lot of fast food, okay? And junk food. I remember one time when I was working over at Flourishing Fart, I gotta disguise that name, don't want to reveal anybody, right? Anyway, when I was working over at Flourishing Fart, these people were like perping me like you don't even know, okay? So they brought in all this Mexican food, and then what they probably thought, well, she's not eating Mexican food because she's always so pretty. Yeah, I eat Mexican food sometimes, okay? I remember when I worked over at this gravel place or this other place, I went out to lunch with them. As a matter of fact, we went out every once a week to the same Mexican restaurant, okay? The thing is, I don't like eating sharing meals with people I don't like. And I immediately started hating these people over at Flourishing Park because of the gossip and the shit behind my back. I don't believe in sitting down and having a meal with people who are my enemies, okay? Now, yes, of course, the same company, the Granite Company or the Jimson Company, they were also perps too, okay? But still, it wasn't quite as obvious. I knew it. I knew something was up. Because, it was just weird. But still, but I don't eat out a lot. I don't eat out a lot, okay? I do prefer to have foods that are more like natural, if I can. But see, that has nothing to do with Stephen Lyles or anything. And people start thinking this kind of stuff, and then they don't realize, well, a lot of people eat the same stuff. This is nothing new. When you buy snacks for your kids to put in their lunch bag, most of the time you put things like maybe applesauce, a piece of fruit. If you're a good parent, you put a piece of fruit. Please don't tell me you're one of those parents that pile their kids' lunchbox with Hostess treats, okay? Because if you do, shame on you. Shame on you. Although I will say that my parents did buy a lot of Hostess treats when I was a kid, okay? But we always had fruit in the house. We always had, even though, my family was overweight, whatever, we still had fruit. We still have the stuff that people put in there. There's these items you put in your lunchbox. You just do, right? But everything that you do because they want to so find some sort of validation to their rumor, and they're talking, always somehow has to revolve around these rumors and these lies. And like I mentioned before, I started wearing my wigs, or whatever you want to call it, in 2006. Okay, I did try wearing braids, I think, in 2004, I think. Okay, but that was way, way, way before I had any idea that Stephen Lyles was around. Okay, and I look exactly the same. The way I've always, even when I lived in the Antelope Valley, I look exactly the same. I look the same. Okay. Now, as you get older, sometimes your face gets a little bit longer, depending on whatever. But for the most part, I look the same. Everything about me is the same. Some of my clothes in my closet are from my Lancaster days. Okay, I don't throw shit away, unless of course it's like a rag or something. But I pretty much look the same. The only thing that's changed is my hair. But everything that you do, somehow in their mind, has to be used to fuel these rumors. Okay, I look exactly the same as I did when I first moved to Bakersfield, as a matter of fact. Okay, my glasses are different. I get different glasses every year, or every 2 years, or however I go in, which I do need to make an appointment sometime, but right now I can't do it. Why can't you do it, Maria? You know why I can't do it, because Maria was gang stalked, and she's got shit she's got to take care of, but she doesn't have the money for it right now. So it is what it is, right? But anyway, so the weekend's here, and I plan on enjoying it. Still going to be working on my embroidery and my little embroidery project. I am going to be starting to rewrite my cover letter, because my cover letter needs to be remodified to be more like an introduction letter. I have other things I need to take care of this weekend, and I really don't want to have to constantly be thinking about my perps. Okay. So anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will be back with another one later. Take care. Bye-bye.